So today we want to talk about a very important subject matter. I have seen this subject matter confuse a lot of people over the years. A lot of people hold the wrong view about this topic. But, I had to, search and check mostly peer-reviewed articles, scientific articles on this subject matter. And what is the subject matter is on artificial sweeteners. A lot of people try to avoid added sugars. A lot of people try to avoid things that are, detrimental to their blood sugar level, things that disrupt, their sensitivity to insulin, things that make them predisposed to diabetes. And most people tend to shift towards artificial sweeteners, thinking that when they take food with artificial sweeteners, they are very much safe. Well, I'm not here to tell you that, okay, it's better you take things with added sugar or whatnot, but I'm here to just provide you with information about what taking too much of artificial sweeteners or unregulated quantity of artificial sweeteners can do to your body. Number one, artificial sweeteners can disrupt your gut microbiome. All right? You know, there are some important microorganisms that are helping us in our body, but when you take a lot of artificial sweeteners like saccharin, aspartame, sucralose, and the likes, what do? They lead to changes in the what? Microbial load. They also disrupt your my metabolism. They also disrupt also your digestion. So you can see that some of these studies are in public med. You can go to read it. There's one that talked about critical review on effect of artificial sweeteners on gut microbiota. It was even published in 2025. You can go read that article. All right, it was published in 2025. They talked about how, you know, some of these artificial sweeteners can disrupt the normal gut microbiome. So if you are taking too much of soft drinks, too much of, conjoined drinks that are containing artificial sweeteners, be aware that they can disrupt the normal microbiome of your body. All right? I have told you about the article that was published in 2025 about this. Go ahead and go and read it. Number two, artificial sweeteners. They do not guarantee weight loss. And this was also proved by some articles. Let me see what year the article was, released. There is one that was even released this year, 2025, in March. It's called Food Sweeteners, Angels or Clowns for Human Health. You can go read that article also. It was published in 2025. And what did that article talk about? It just talked about how, these artificial sweeteners that are taken on a long term, how they cannot help you to lose weight. A lot of people think that when I take things with artificial sweeteners, yes, I will lose weight. It's better than taking things with added sugar and all of that. But there has been articles on the fact that sweetener, I even told you that this article was published in March 2025, that the long use of artificial sweeteners do not guarantee weight loss. So I'm sorry to disappoint you. In fact, for many, it says for many, it may even trigger increased appetite or compensate with extra calorie intake later. So you can see one way or the other, artificial sweeteners does not guarantee weight loss. Number three, truth. Remember, we are talking about truth you should know about artificial sweeteners. Number three, by providing sweetness without actual calorie, they may trick your body's regulatory system. So there is a way taking artificial sweeteners, confuse your body's metabolic activities. All right. It may trick your body into, not functioning well, not regulating well, and this may lead to metabolic responses that can even affect your satiety level, the level at which you are satisfied when you are eating. So taking uncontrolled amount of artificial sweeteners can confuse your body's metabolism, all right? And it can also lead to other things like you not responding well to insulin and your body not being able to handle glucose better. There are reviewed articles on that, all right? To support that, you can go read peer reviewed journals, scientific articles to get the latest information about artificial sweeteners. Also, number 4, truths about artificial sweeteners. They are linked to cardiovascular risk. Yes, there are published articles on that. Let me see. There is one published in 2024 exploring the long-term effect of artificial sweeteners on metabolic health. So there is this long-term effect that taking artificial sweeteners can have on you, and they may result in cardiovascular risk, which could include obesity, high blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, even, all right, as well as in other cardiovascular diseases. So you cannot just keep taking food with artificial sweeteners thinking that yes, I'm safer taking only an everyday food with artificial sweeteners. No, taking food with artificial sweeteners have both short and long-term effect, and I've been telling you all this effect. Number one, I said they can disrupt your body's gut microbiome. Number two, they do not guarantee weight loss. Number three, they can confuse your body's metabolism. Number four, they can also predispose you to the risk of cardiovascular problems. All right. And also, number five, they can even increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. So, a lot of people say, when I take food with artificial sweeteners, when I take soft drinks with artificial sweeteners, I'm safer, I'm much better. So, they do not control what they take without knowing that this also carry risk of type 2 diabetes. All right. There are some articles on that, there are some studies on that, and let me check one of those studies that was published in 2024. It says associations of artificial sweeteners intake with cardiometabolic disorders and mortality, a population-based study. It's actually a population-based study where they check how artificial sweeteners intake with cardiometabolic disorder and mortality rate. And yeah, they carried out a study and discovered that a frequent use of artificial sweeteners may result in developing type 2 diabetes. So you can see that you cannot just keep taking artificial sweeteners without having all this information based on study. All right. Number 6, there is a potential neurological and cognitive effect. Yes. So high consumption of artificial sweeteners can result in the risk of dementia, the risk of stroke. Those are neurological effects. Cognitive effect also. They may even result in oxidative stress and inflammation. So please control your consumption of artificial sweeteners. Uncontrolled consumption of artificial sweeteners is not going to benefit you in the long run. Now, number 7, there's an effect on brain appetite center, and there's a research according to Very Well Health. They've been able to link artificial sweeteners in your brain effect. They said it can trick your brain and make you hungrier. And this research was carried out in 2025, in April 2025. It's actually a recent uh, one. Consumption of artificial sweeteners can trick your brain. For example, you consume a whole lot of sucralose, it may increase your hunger. It has been shown to heighten the activity in your hypothalamus, all right, in your brain, the region that controls appetite. That region of your brain that controls appetite, studies have shown that excessive consumption of sweeteners can trick your brain, can disrupt the activity of the hypothalamus that what controls satiety and appetite. And that is why you keep eating and eating and eating. Number 8, we are going to 10 truths about sweeteners. Number 8, there's a possible blood vessel damage due to consumption of what? Artificial sweeteners. And there's a study in Ireland as to that. They say urgent warning. There was an urgent warning that there is a popular drink that contains, a good number of artificial sweeteners, and they've been known to damage the brain and the blood vessels. So there was a warning actually as to that. That was in May 2025. That warning was in May 2025 saying that people should be careful of a popular drink that contain, artificial sweeteners, as that can damage their brain and blood vessels. Hello everyone, thank you for joining my live. We are talking about truths about artificial sweeteners. A lot of people do believe that artificial sweeteners is all safe for them. Yes, they can take it in uncontrolled amounts, and that is way far better than added sugar. But I'm here to tell you about the truths from reviewed journals, from publications on artificial sweeteners. Number 9, there has been some controversial discussion about taking one artificial sweetener known as aspartame and its connection with cancer. In 2023, WHO classified aspartame as possible carcinogenic. However, agencies like FDA and EFSA still consider it safe within an established daily intake limit. There are some controversial discussion about aspartame as an artificial sweetener. WHO, IARC, they say, there is a possible carcinogenic effect, but there are still some disputes about that. It is better to be safe than sorry. When things are controversial, there are some elements of truth in them. Number 10, the last but not the least, they have linked a number of these artificial sweeteners with reproductive effect. And this study was carried out in animal, and according to a research, it says that rodent studies link artificial sweeteners intake, especially at high doses, to lower sperm quality and sperm count, abnormal sperm shapes, and oxidative stress in reproductive tissues. While compelling, these findings haven't yet been confirmed in humans. So there was a study carried out on an animal, and it was said that consumption of artificial sweeteners in high doses affected their reproduction. It affected their sperm quality, it affected their sperm share, the sperm counts, the shape of the sperm, and everything. And, you know, when they carried it out on animal, they saw that kind of result. So there is a likelihood that this could also happen when when such study is carried out on human. Although it has not been confirmed in human, the study has not been carried out in human, but like I said, since it has been carried out on animal, there is a likelihood that similar effects could be observed in human. Now, let me summarize all what I've been saying about the truths on artificial sweetener. Number one, I said artificial sweeteners alter the gut bacteria and causes inflammation. Number two, artificial sweeteners do not necessarily help you in your weight loss. Number three, it may confuse your metabolic regulation. Number four, artificial sweeteners are associated with metabolic and cardiovascular risk. Number five, artificial sweeteners are linked to higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Number six, there's a possible link to stroke and dementia. Number seven, it may increase hunger via brain pathway. It alter the brain function, the hypothalamus. And then number eight, artificial sweeteners may harm your blood vessel and the health of your blood vessel. Then number nine, aspartame is possibly linked with cancer, but safe within limits. All right. Number 10, rodent studies show male reproductive harm. And what I want you to take home from all these 10 truths that I've told you about artificial sweetener is that number one, artificial sweeteners are not inherently healthy, like media is telling you. You cannot just believe the media and say, oh, artificial sweeteners is all healthy. I can eat it in any quantity. I can take it daily. No. Number one take home is that artificial sweeteners are not totally or inherently healthy. While they may reduce your calorie consumption and sugar consumption in the short term, they may necessarily cause you long-term issues, like I've explained. Number two take home that I want you to take home is that moderation is also very, very important when taking artificial sweeteners. Many of the concerns arise from frequent and high dose intake. So please don't take it frequently, don't take it in high dose. Moderation is also very, very important when you are taking artificial sweeteners. And then number three, stay informed. Read what regulatory bodies are saying. Also read peer reviewed articles, know what the media is saying, and also please do your own personal research checks. When you take artificial sweeteners, check your blood sugar level. Make sure you observe what is happening in your body. All right. Check if it is causing you a lot of health issues. So those are the things that I want you to take home about artificial sweeteners. And I believe you have gained one thing or the other. Please, if you have gained one thing or the other, let me know in the comment section. Do well to like, comment, and share this video. Let more people be aware of the right information about artificial sweeteners. Thank you for joining this live. Until I see you next time. Bye bye. Please do well to subscribe. Click the subscribe button and continue to follow this page for more interesting content like this.